everybody. You guys had a few questions about the beaded spine journal that I did a couple videos ago. This is a one signature journal with a beaded spine, and I think I showed you the inside of it. But a lot of you seem to have a lot of greeting cards that you want to get rid of. So I thought this morning, this super early morning, got my coffee out here, and we do just a quick run through about how a multi-signature beaded spine journal comes together. The first thing that you're going to want to do is choose a card for the front of your journal and a card for the back of your journal. These cards need to be pretty similar in size. So I chose this one for the front and then this one for the back. I have not de-greeted the front of these cards. You glue the cards together, okay? So you don't have to worry about de-greeting the inside of the card, but eventually I'll take this sentiment off and maybe put some painting or something over it. All right, so we have our cards, and then I have already created my signatures. And remember, we go through the de-greeting process here too. So I covered this up. Anything that looked cute, I kept. The cat with holding the heart, I just replaced the hi mom, happy, whatever it said there. I can't remember what it said. But I replaced it with love, enjoy, laugh. And then here's some desk paper. I did leave that sentiment from the bottom of my heart because I do like words and quotes. And sometimes I do leave the back of the card simply because your little journal, you know, it's a work in progress. So you can kind of work on it for for a long time, or you can leave white spaces for other people to play in your journal. Same thing here, adore sweet dreams. Just took some Tim Holtz words and replaced whatever was there with something else. I like the guy and the Valentine, so I left that. This is a piece of cat hand painted tape. This was mixed medium morsel 23. If you haven't tried this yet, oh my gosh, don't try it because you'll get addicted to it. I have not de-greeted this card yet. I haven't de-greeted that one yet. But like I said, you know, you can go through here and you can de-greet either now or when you get your card put together. But I did want to show you how to put the card together, journal together. So I've got my 5 signatures here. I took a piece of card stock from an actual card to make the spine of the book. Now, you know, you can kind of get the idea of what this looks like. The way to create the spine is take your signatures, take a piece of cardstock, and make sure that your signatures fit inside the cardstock very snugly. I like my journals to not be loose. You know, they're sort of loose in nature anyway because we're going to bead the spine. But the tighter you can get it at this point, the better off you are. So take a piece of cardstock, put your signatures, kind of slide your signatures into here, and then just make a crease. And then I think this is about a 1/2 inch here, the way that this one worked out. So we're going to put our cards to the side, and I'll show you how the front of your journal needs and the covers of your journal need to come together. And what we do is we're just going to glue these things together. Now, I got to tell you that Jennibellie has a great video about making beaded spine journals, and her beaded spine journals are absolute works of art. Mine not so much. I did do one. I followed her tutorial, and I did do one that was, you know, kind of extensive. Uh-oh. We have seen something outside. Oh, somebody's walking a dog or a squirrel or a cat. Oh, here comes Gronk. Okay, sorry, dog alert. Let's see if she can hang out in the living room instead of the sunroom for a minute since people are walking their dogs now. Okay, so this is the spine, and we've glued it to the front and the back, the covers, right, of your journal. I've taken a little bit of, I've taken a piece of other cardstock from another card, and I'm going to glue that to the front. You can glue this any way you want. Just quickly glue it down so you can kind of get the idea behind here. Alright, so we're going to take this. Just make sure that that card does not overlap too much with the spine that you've created. Same thing here. And of course, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a card from your card stash. It can be a piece of scrapbooking paper, whatever you want. Okay, alright, now basically we have the front cover, the back cover, and the spine. Now typically I would try and let this dry for a little while. I suggest letting it dry, but we need to move along here, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to cut the signatures so they fit into the journal. Alright, don't wiggle too much. Okay, we place the card on top of the back cover or the front cover, whichever your hand feels most comfortable with, and then we're going to notch. So we can make a notch here, and we make a notch here. Alright, now I'm going to make sure that the signature is all snug in there, and then we're going to make cuts. Sorry y'all, I need my glasses. Here we go. Okay, we're going to cut here. You're creating a notch. Okay, there's one. Gotta fit it really snug in there, y'all. There's two. Alright, now do you see, you kind of see what you've done, right? So what happens is this will become the part of the journal book that you put your embroidery floss. This is the tied part. It hangs on to the spine. So I'm going to pause for a minute while I get the rest of my cards cut. Okay, so I got everything, my cards notched in the top, and you can see how that looks. Remember, these, the way you measure this is you put your signature into your book and you measure along the binding. So you can kind of see how these look on the inside. You've got this big nice slot to work with to bind your books. Just remember to make everything nested in there really nicely. The next thing that you're going to want to do is, decide on the order of your signatures. So I kind of like what I have here. I like this, and then this one. We'll maybe switch these up. I'll put this one in next. And then, I don't know, she's kind of cute. Use her for the front. And then this one for the last signature. Okay, starting with your last signature. Take some floss or whatever your binding medium is going to be. If you want to use yarn, then just remember, if you use yarn, that you'll have to get, like pony beads or something that has kind of a big middle in it. All right, so we're going to line up our last signature. The last signature is the one that you work on first. Okay? We're going to put the floss through here. like this. This is a little tricky, but you'll totally get the hang of it. Okay, and you can kind of see, measure. I did this the wrong way, y'all. Let's make the needle come out the bottom like this. That's what we need. And then this will be tied into the binding. I can't see to thread my needle, so that's I have to do it like this. Can't see my binding. Can't see my needle to get it threaded. Okay, I'm gonna have to take it out, y'all. Okay, there we go. All right, now we'll just see if I can get it threaded again. Okay, so you can kind of see how everything fits snug around the binding, right? Now remember this, your spine. The spine of the book is a greeting card, and you can color this or you can choose a pattern or whatever. I think it's really cool when you see recycled crafts that show evidence of the fact that they're from recycled materials. I like that. So I tend to leave a little bit of the original, like, recycled material, so you can kind of see what your little book or journal or whatever is made from. All right, now I'm gonna hopefully thread my needle. It's early in the morning. I don't know why I've only had 1 cup of coffee. That's why I'm so confused and out of it. Alright, I've chosen some beads, and I couldn't find my bead holder this morning, my bead sorter, so I just had to use a beautiful little palette from a set of watercolors that my friend sent me. So let's start putting some beads on here. And I think I'm going to, I think for the first signature, I'll just choose, this can go in a very random way too. You don't have to be exacting with this. I did think that I had sorted my beads enough to, I love these little fish, so I think I'm going to use those. There are some kitty cats inside on this signature. In the little book, so that probably look kind of cool. Those don't work. It's kind of good to sort your beads first and see what's going to work and what's not. And I did try and do that, but obviously I didn't do a very good job. Alright, cool. You can use pre-made beads, you can use pony beads, you can use something that you buy at the pound shop, dollar store. You can use anything that you want to as a bead. Sometimes I'm not very good at it, but I do know that people do make their own, like, paper beads, and they're quite beautiful. Again, Jenny has a tutorial about making. She did an extensive series about making your own beads. Okay, so that one's not gonna work. I did try to use a bead needle, y'all, and that did not work either. I couldn't get the floss through it, and I really did try. I like these little beads. And kind of funky. Oh, we said those weren't going to work. Let's go for some blue. These beads were given to me by my friend Liz. Oh gosh, years and years ago. And boy, have I used up her stash of beads. There are hardly any left. She was so sweet to give them to me. And things that are given to you, you know, for crafting, I mean, they have such soul. And I love using things that people have given me. Okay, so we're about at the top of the book, of the spine here. Do you see that? I think, guys, I'm going to take that last pink bead off to give us plenty of room to tie. All right, so here's it's a little bit tricky. You're going to push the beads up, okay? Get this as tight as you can without tearing anything. And then we're going to tie this off. Tie this off. It's tricky. Just be patient with it. Okay, there we go. Our first signature is tied in. And see that? It's really pretty, isn't it? All right, now I'm going to finish binding the rest of the signatures and then I'll be right back, okay? Okay, everybody, I'm at my last signature and I wanted to show you a mistake that I made when I was measuring this spine. I am not going to have room for 4 or 5 signatures at all. So I'm going to have room for probably 4. This is just kind of a judgment, you guys. You're just, the more you make of these, the more you'll understand how the beading works and how everything goes together. I also realized, because I had chunked up this first signature with all these beautiful little beads, that if I tried to do chunky beads on each signature, my signatures were going to get really jammed and not very pretty. So what I did, you know, this is the first one that I did. Remember the cool little fish bead that we had down here? The rest of these, the other signatures, I did very simply with just some kind of skinny beads. The next signature, I'm going to go ahead and do it chunky because I have a little bit of room right here that I can work with. I also want to show you a mistake I made on the inside. When you're cutting your notches, y'all, sometimes you don't get all of the inside cards. And I had a signature not want to go into the journal correctly, and I thought, well, what am I doing wrong? I could not get the embroidery floss to go around my notches here, and it was because one of my cards did not get cut properly. So I just recut that card. But, you know, don't worry if that happens to you, because you can always fix it. All right, the last signature is going in. So I always like my needle at the bottom. You can figure out how to do this the best you can. You don't have to thread that needle before you put it through here. I can't see. I can't see, so I have to get it through there first. Okay, now, like I said, we can go ahead and chunky up this one, okay? So let's choose some really pretty beads. I tell you, I love the fish. I think that's really super cool. And my friend that gave me all these beads loves animals. She adopts animals. She rescues animals. So I like that she even has some kitty cat beads in the stash that she gave me. So, you know, we can kind of chunk this one up. Let's see what's going to go on here. And the more you make these, you'll get the hang of it. You know, you'll understand how things go together and what kind of binding materials you can use and how tight you can pull on the string to get the book bound. It's just kind of a work in process. And isn't that the coolest thing, to be able to work on the process and not get so hung up on the project or the product that you're doing. It's refreshing to think of art that way. instead of it's, you know, got to be perfect or whatever. I am so not the perfect artist. I go more for the process than the product, because I think the process, it trains the brain, it makes you think. I mean, I really admire people who are perfect in their art and their creativity, but I am not. I have fun. I think that's the important thing. Okay. All right, guys, we are done. And I will show you how this looks. It's quite pretty, and I don't know that I might kind of leave the cover the way it is, because it says, "For my sweet mom," and I may send this to my mom as a gift for Christmas, or she and my dad have their 56th wedding anniversary coming up, so that might be something nice for them. You can see how the spine has come together. You can see that I did leave part of the greeting card there, because again, I think it's really cool to leave a little part of your, whatever you're recycling, as part of the product. So we can flip through here really quickly and see what we got. And she's looking pretty good, and she's flipping pretty good. So we did a good job on the spine. We didn't do it tight. We kind of left it. We did a good job on the spine. We didn't tie it tight enough that it won't flip. But you can see how this comes together. And boy, can you use up your greeting cards. And a lot of you have said you have lots and lots of greeting cards. So do take some time today to kind of go through your greeting cards and choose some for a beaded spine greeting card, book, or journal. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I hope you have an awesome, wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.